Etched into the polished granite slabs of the World War II memorial in Bakersfield's Jastrow Park are the names of 683 people who laid down their lives during or shortly after the conflict. Off to the side is another name, Emma Buckmaster, neither combatant nor physician. Who was she? Here with another installment in his series, Where We Live, is 17's Robert Price.
Here's the bulletin which has just come into the NBC newsroom in New York. A message from President Roosevelt asking for a declaration of war against Japan.
Evacuation. More than 100,000 men, women, and children, all of Japanese ancestry, removed from their homes in the Pacific Coast states to wartime communities established in out-of-the-way places.
"I'm sorry, Donald," Emma Buckmaster wrote in her distinctively looping cursive, "but I cannot find your roller skates." A boy's skates, somewhere in a stored box, simply vanished. Not exactly the kind of wartime mission that endears a hero to her grateful community, but it's the type of act, microscopic insignificance, next to the heroism of many listed on Kern's World War II memorial, that epitomized Emma Louise Buckmaster's simple but invaluable mission in the early 1940s. Preserve normalcy in the midst of extraordinary difficulty, champion hope, maintain connectedness, preserve community.
So Emma is, if anybody is a saint, she was.
Takeo Joanne Iritani would know. To her family, even today, Emma Buckmaster is a legend. The mild-mannered grade school teacher did not charge enemy machine gun nests, did not shield fellow soldiers from hand grenades. In fact, she never fired a weapon. What she did do was preserve the dignity, the spirit, the humanity of certain targeted Americans at a time when racist paranoia was at its flaming zenith.
They are not prisoners, they are not internees. They are merely dislocated people, the unwounded casualties of war.
In 1941, Emma Buckmaster, an Iowa native born in 1892, was a 49-year-old teacher at William Penn's school. She also taught Sunday school at the Japanese Methodist Church, right around the corner from the Buddhist church. She played her mandolin as the children sang in Japanese. After the internment order of February 19, 1942, Franklin Delano Roosevelt's Order 9066, enforced in California by the governor, Earl Warren, Emma Buckmaster provided an emotional and spiritual lifeline to Japanese Americans who'd been rounded up and shipped off for the duration of the war. Specifically, Japanese Americans from Kern County who were rounded up and sent to the Arizona desert for 3 years for no reason but their ethnicity, the wrong ethnicity.
The relocation centers are supervised by the War Relocation Authority. About 300 people to a block. The entire community bounded by a wire fence and guarded by military police.
And for her dedication, Buckmaster became a hero to many Japanese Americans. Takeo Joanne Iritani, Joanne to most of her Bakersfield friends, was one of them. 7 years before her death, she gave extended interviews about her time in the Poston, Arizona internment camp to archivists at Sacramento State University. Iritani was a middle schooler living in Lamont when she was sent to Poston, the largest of the internment camps. One of her interviews focuses on Buckmaster.
She was just wonderful. She wrote to everybody, and I do mean everybody. We were kids. She wrote to us. My father, who could write some English, but not real fluently, and she wrote to them. She wrote to every Nisei soldier who left Bakersfield.
Iritani says Buckmaster was a member of an organization called the Aid to Japanese Methodist Evacuation Committee. Iritani and her husband Frank, who served in Japan immediately after the war for the U.S. Army, wrote a book about the 10 wartime internment camps. She says her research failed to turn up another organization like Buckmaster's anywhere in the country.
Because of that committee, they stored things in the Japanese Methodist Church as well as Buddhist Church, labeled everything, boxed everything, and when people needed something, they wrote to Emma, and she shipped it out to them. And I had a postcard that Donald Miyagi, a neighbor, neighbor from Bakersfield, who also was a neighbor in Poston, he had received from Emma. And she said, "I'm sorry, Donald, but I cannot find your roller skates." She had looked for his roller skates. So you can see what kind of person she was. She was wonderful.
Buckmaster was a friend at a time when it wasn't easy, popular, or perhaps even wise to be a friend to people of Japanese descent. This is Bakersfield's Wendy Ward, a World War II home front enthusiast.
She was a woman on the right side of history with quiet convictions that she stuck to at a time when not a lot of people did. And so she was really looking out for them while they were gone.
Ward was happy to learn that the century-old fire-damaged Buddhist church on N Street, where the possessions of many interned Japanese Americans were stored, will be preserved. The distinctive facade, anyway. It had been scheduled for imminent demolition, but instead will be moved to the Kern County Museum, an appropriate home not only because so few artifacts remain of the city's pre-war Japanese community, but also as a tribute to allies of that community, like Buckmaster.
Some of the teachers are Caucasian. Some are evacuees, Americans of Japanese ancestry.
Buckmaster's friendship and personal convictions meant so much to Joanne Iritani that she asked Buckmaster to be the godmother of her children, Ken, Benita, and the oldest, Susanna, who credits the World War II Memorial Committee for having the foresight to include Buckmaster in a granite tribute meant to otherwise honor combatants.
Talk about a lot of tears. A lot of grateful tears.
World War II Navy veteran Walter Granger, who died last year at age 99, was among those who made a point of learning and telling Buckmaster's story.
I think it's so wonderful that somebody had the understanding of the import of a person stepping forward, and news coverage about the enemy, characterizations and caricature.
Emma Buckmaster died in 1978 at age 85. The war demanded sacrifices and many times heroics from the fighting men and women of the Allied forces, but it also demanded the quiet passion for freedom, opportunity, and community that those warfighters were dying for. Passion like that exhibited by Emma Buckmaster. She never did find those roller skates, but she did find within herself a compassion so rare at one of the most horrific times in human history. In Bakersfield, Robert Price, 17 News.